Wow. All right. That was not really how it goes.
Not often. Little drama never hurt anybody though, right?
That was good. I was on the edge of my seat. That was a lot of drama.
I was not. Yeah. So when you get a hit on that list, you need to do your due diligence, right? So let's say I've got my borrower John sitting in front of me, right?
Yep.
So I go into research. I gotta go search John, and this is a list that's available to you on the sanction search feature. And I type in John. All right, cool. Well, here's all these people who John comes up in. I don't want to go and click on all these people because what happens is when I click on these people, I chose the top person for an example here. I get all this other information, and this is good that you see this and see how it works when you actually have a hit. You get all these aliases that these this person has been associated with. And another reason why it's important to also search aliases. So your AKAs that you see on the credit report or on the fraud report, search them.
So if it shows up on a credit report, this is step 2?
This is step 2. I'm going to tale of caution here. Yes. You do need to go do your further due diligence because you're like, well, is this my borrower? Is this in fact...
How many John Smiths are there?
Right. Yeah, and you do see this a lot with very common names.
Taylor, Madison.
Yeah.
Some of the newer common names.
I've actually found with common Latin last names. That's where I got a lot of that. Okay. Yeah, and so it's really important. The more information that you give the system, the better your chances are of clearing them, and you should.
Because like Cat Stevens, you don't want to punish somebody who actually isn't supposed to be on the list.
Who else is named Cat Stevens?
Well, his name was Yusuf Islam. That was his. That was his change name. So that's the one that popped.
All right. Well, for my borrower in this case, I type in the rest of his name, John Jacob Jingleheimer Smith.
Yeah, that's my name too.
That's what I said.
You knew I was going to say.
He comes up clear though. And that's what I would upload as evidence to my underwriter or to whomever. This is all clear.
Right.
Now, let's say that I do get some information.
It's the dude.
Well, it is or it isn't, right?
Okay.
You need to go in. So you got your match. You have to file a SAR. Okay. We don't file enough SARs within the industry, and you have to file a SAR within 10 business days. That's a rule. But there's also a really nice step-by-step guide within the treasury.gov. I recommend you go there, get familiar with it, because it'll walk you through well, did you search their name?
Right.
Did you search their address? Did you search all these other key features about them? Because they don't want you calling either if it's not necessary. But at the end of the day, it is call them. You need to contact OFAC, and they're going to... And maybe I shouldn't say you. You likely have a fraud department or some other person who kind of handles more of the legality of these things.
Follow your company's procedures for doing these things.
100%. Which I think is funny that you say to follow company procedures because OFAC doesn't have any specific trainings or requirements that we need to learn within these classes. It's you figure it out.
Wow.
Because OFAC is so vast, right? And there's so many different factors to it. And again, it's very heavy on the transaction side. But if you're simply a broker, what is your obligation here? It's not as much. You don't need to know as much as, say, somebody who works in the wire department,
right?
And who's got to be constantly watching for these things.
But you are required to check no matter what, and then do that further research. I was actually in the IRS building 2 blocks from here. Doing an investigation with them. So I became friends with an IRS agent when he was investigating a massive fraud case, mortgage fraud. And he does mortgage fraud for a living. That's all he was really in charge of back in 05, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he was very busy. Yeah. And we looked at I was just kind of talking to him about SARs, and he pulled up the SARs list, couldn't show me the SARs, obviously, because those are private. But he was I could see the list from a long ways away, and I go, so what does this mean to you? There's enough SARs filed that he could spend his entire day investigating every one and still not get past page 1, right?
Right.
So he goes, no, we're basically just looking for patterns, or if he types in a name, it's going to go, this person has actually never tried to get financing and mortgage in the U.S. Yeah. Or this person has tried in Florida, Texas, Arizona, and Colorado, and was successful at getting 27, non-owner occupied properties. And he's like, if this is a dude I want, I now know all the stuff he's doing and I can do further research. So chances are the SAR list, if you just go, this is just weird. I don't know what's up, but it doesn't pop. It's fine. It's not for you to decide. It's for them to decide so that they can go, oh my gosh, that's an alias that guy was using. Now we know we can get our guy.